He's not going to afford those shocks.
No.
Now you want to make it even. I mean, that's my take on the whole thing. It's not about engines or spoilers or anything else. What's going to even that game up is if they put a shock package in. Everybody runs these shocks.
Well, look what IMCA did with the modified division. They have a shock claim rule where you have to keep your shocks under this much, under all these different sets of standards, and that's the way it rolls. And that's evened up that class significantly. I mean, versus when we were a USRA rules package out here,
right?
You could have $1,000 shock or a $1,200 shock on each corner of your car.
So I guess bottom line is it's not cheap to run a late model.
It's not cheap to race.
It's not cheap to race anything, but you're really getting into bucks if you're going to run a late model. On my standards, anyway.
Well,
I agree.
And talking about what we're talking about, the only way to race is to really race within your means.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go racing you can't go racing
X amount budget.
When you can't race beyond your means. You can't go buy champagne with a beer budget. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's quite an old phrase.
Well, yeah, but my opinion is it's really it's a silly. I think it's a silly concept. My opinion. Now you can ask other guys that are all for it. I think I've heard a couple of guys. Oh yeah, it's gonna even it up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna even up anything.
I don't think it will either.
No.
Lastly, all three of you probably got a wealth of knowledge of history and what's happening right now. Like I'm sure you guys have some information that's been shared with you from the drivers, from the Speedway owners, or whatever like that. You got your finger on the pulse of the situation, especially for Willamette Speedway, maybe Sunset, maybe the other speedways in the Northwest. What do you think about the future of racing here in the Northwest?
It's coming up.
Absolutely.
It's coming back totally.
Well, and that's kind of what we're talking about earlier. I think everybody's excited about that because right now the Northwest, and you guys have been around a little while, you know, it's in a transition period. The legends that we grew up watching, that we've watched for the last 25 years, are now kind of fading on the way out, and the next generation's coming behind them.
Just like anything.
Right, you know. But we're in our area, that's where we're at. We're at that next wave of young drivers coming in, and we have got some talent that is absolutely incredible coming up. You know, we already mentioned Bryson James and Colin Weinbacher, but you know, you want to talk about some real talent coming up as well. Let's talk about the girls. Let's talk about Talon Roberts and Mikey Breakall and
Mackenzie Lockhart.
You know, April Sign. I mean, we've got some girls that are every bit as talented as these young men coming up. And
some are more.
There's no sex on the racetrack. These guys get out there, it's just a number, and those girls are hardcore.
Talon racing against her father out there, that's always entertaining.
Doing a grudge match. Well, and look at what Mikey Breakall did. Mikey Breakall, 17-year-old. 17-year-old, still in school, comes out, never been in a go-kart, never been in a race car before, comes out in a street stock and wins the street stock track championship at Willamette Speedway over Jody Tanner, who is a 40-year-old or 40-year veteran of the asphalt and dirt. Yep. How much better does it get than that?
17-year-old rookie of the year, track champion street stocks. And it was all about being consistent. She only had one win.
Yeah.
But she was there every race, top 3, top 4, top 3. I mean, she was so consistent, and that's what won the title. And she's got talent. She didn't wreck the car up too bad. I mean, she's finished almost every race.
Darn good talent.
And that's where, you know, and she's 17. Bryson James is, you know, now he's 18. We've got Eric Schofield jumping in IMCA modified, 15 years old. I'll guarantee you that kid, about the halfway point of the season, you watch, he's going to have it figured out.
It's going to click.
Yeah. Because you watch that kid, and he is so much, and I'll make a comparison to Bryson James. I mean, we've all seen him drive. He's smooth. As one kid you can see think, and I'm excited to watch him.
Oh, and by the way, Bryson James drove at the Chili Bowl in a Johnny Herrera car this past year.
Right, and finished in the top 6 in the C main.
Top rookie.
Yeah, I mean, just phenomenal. So the talent here in the Northwest, that's what bothers me about it, is it's not what it used to be because it's not recognized. We've got every bit as much talent as any other region in the nation.
Well, I agree, and you look at what comes out of the Northwest.
But we don't get the corporate sponsorship here. No. We don't get the big series here. We don't get, you know, it's not, you don't see Lucas Oil late models here in the Northwest. Why?
The biggest series
it's too far to travel from their home base.
You see the biggest series out here. You have NASCAR that goes down to Fontana in California, runs the Cup Series down there. Up here in the Northwest, biggest shows we get up here are the World of Outlaws 410 sprint cars.
Fan base wise, that's true. The Pacific Northwest, did you know the Pacific Northwest is the only region in the country that doesn't have a NASCAR race?
Yep.
Yeah, I've known that. They've tried several locations to build a track. Haven't done it successfully yet.
Tree huggers. Yep. That's the problem.
Well, we've got an awful lot of wet weather here as well. It has a lot to do with it, I'm sure.
But you go back to the talent we're talking. Yeah, that's gonna get cut out. But
And I'll leave it in there. Yeah.
But you look at the talent that we have out here. The last big talent to get picked up out of this region on a national level really has to be Billy Workman Jr.
Oh yeah.
Driving for Ron Hornaday in the Diamond Chassis.
Right. But then you look at the other talent that came out of the Northwest. Casey Kane, NASCAR driver.
Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle. You've also got Kyle Larson that came out of the West Coast. I mean, he's
Came
won
out of
races,
California.
right? He came,
And then-
won sprint car races at Willamette Speedway.
He has Rico Abreu, same
Rico
category.
Abreu, absolutely. I mean,
Jimmy Johnson, El Cajon, California.
we have got talent. It's a hotbed of talent here, but it's not recognized because we're tucked up in this little corner where it rains.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
that's bottom
is.
line right
And you
there.
know what? Probably part of the reason is because our race season is so short
And
compared.
the tracks are so far apart.
Our season's so short.
Yeah.
We're racing.
April through September.
We will be lucky this year if we race before May 1st.
What was it? We were down in Vegas in December or January?
November.
November.
Was it November in Vegas? Okay, anyway.
And
And it's 85 degrees down there. It's like, man, I'm staying.
Yeah.
Bakersfield, California, they've been racing since.
They started racing 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they take a couple of weeks off.
Yeah,
for
that
their
was their
winter.
off season, 6-7 weeks. Yeah.
And you look at the names that are nationally known just,
Well,
what's 16 hours away? Tony Toast,
Jason
Bobby
Papage.
Hogue, Jason
the
Papage.
Lucas Oil Series.
Kevin Harvick,
Bobby Hogue, yeah, Bobby Hogue.
Bobby Hogue,
And we're all forgetting
Steve Drake.
Matt Crafton.
Matt
Crafton.
Crafton, Mr. Matt Crafton,
Mr. Matt Crafton.
Decided
who
to
comes
come
to
up.
Willamette Speedway. And
He did come to Willamette and did very
very,
well.
very humble, nice guy.
He's a good dude right
Did
there.
very well because
Came with
Willamette is
Tony
not.
Toast.
He's not a. Willamette is not a track you show up and just win. You know, I mean, very few guys show up and even make the main
Yeah.
their first night there. And he finished, was it 6th or 7th in the main that night?
On Sunday.
I don't
Yeah.
recall.
What- I mean-
And Sunday was a one-lane racetrack. Saturday, he didn't even make the A, I don't think.
Yeah, he made the A.
He told me as far as the dirt tracks go that Willamette was right up there. He said it's one of the nicest
Yeah.
facilities he's
Well,
ever
what's
seen
cool,
in the dirt.
What's cool about that is we had
If I may
cameras.
quote him.
We had cameras on his car, and if
Yeah,
you go to
we did.
Moxie Media Promotions and kind of scroll through the videos, you'll see Matt Crafton, and it's a cool in-car view of Crafton and get to run along with the NASCAR champion at Willamette. It was a pretty cool deal, but.
Yeah. Great dude.
Yeah, that's one thing. Going back to the Northwest, we're excited. The talent is here. There's a lot of, so much young talent coming up to the ranks right now, with drivers that are 24 and under. I'm looking forward to seeing where some of these kids go.
Yeah.
Because I do believe we've got 2 or 3 drivers that'll make it to the big leagues.
Yeah, we've got some on the way there right now.
Well, and we got Brody Pompey back there who came out of the Northwest, running on the the UMP modifieds and doing very well. He won a race not too long ago at somewhere in Ohio. It's another driver we forgot to mention. Very, very talented kids out here. I just want that recognition from these guys.
We just need, what we really need to take the sport to the next level out here, I believe, is to pop that bubble. And
We need a major touring series. We need a
somebody
corporate
out here.
sponsor. That's the only thing lacking is a corporate sponsor to put the talent on a series.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're getting close with the Iron Giant series.
Yeah,
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work for it, and it's not just us; it's everybody in our community, racing community, if you will.
Yes.
And hey, we just got to keep plugging away, be consistent,
We'll do what we can
Right.
with Moxie Media.
persistent,
Yeah,
and consistent.
Right.
Exactly.
We'll do everything we can to promote these drivers, these tracks, our sport, our sponsors, to keep everything moving forward, and hopefully we'll get that national recognition back in our corner.
They're looking at us. They just, like you said, the weather. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
It's the cloud cover.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Here's a part of sharing your sponsors now.
Well, with Moxie Media Promotions, we actually have a lot of people that are jumping on board because they see what we're doing, and I know they like it. From Doc's Photos, our official photographer who puts up some fantastic photos on Moxie, to Stumbling J Livestock. We've got
Northwest Driving Academy.
Northwest Trucking Academy,
Trucking
Crocker's
Academy.
Cars, Jetstream Aqua Massage. It's kind of crazy as a media outlet to have sponsors come on board the way they have with us and back us because they see the positive results that we're producing for everybody. For everybody, it's not about us. This is about them.
You're right, absolutely.
And, our sponsors are always changing. We've got new ones jumping on here in a couple weeks.
Archer Floor Coverings is coming on.
And every podcast we do, we get a results at the end of it. It shows where our listeners are listening
Yeah.
from, and so we've had weeks where was it? Michigan.
Michigan. Huge listening
One week
base
was
in
the
North
largest
Carolina.
percentage,
North
and the
Carolina.
next week it was North Carolina. You know,
we've got Aflac. We've actually got Aflac coming on buying ads on our show now. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's...
I'll make that commercial.
It kind of... that makes you feel good when you start seeing national brands come on.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting...
So that part is about us.
Exactly. We're right on the cusp.
We are.
And without our sponsors, we couldn't do this.
Right, because I don't think people realize the cost of what it takes to do what we do.
Who else do we need to mention?
Real Good Radios has been there to back us.
Sumlin J's.
You know, look at these banners. You know, we've got Charlie James.
Charlie James,
Graphics is,
Charlie and Bryson, yeah.
We need our stickers. We need our banners. We can call Charlie, and we've got them.
Yep.
You know, so it's good to have those guys back us because I mean, we'd spend every dime we have trying just to keep this thing afloat,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
with those guys supporting us the way they do, it allows us to keep doing what we're doing.
We all help each other.
It really is. It's a big cycle, and we can't express how much appreciation we have for those companies that are backing us. You know, last year, Moxie just absolutely exploded. You know, I mean, it went from being kind of a local thing to a lot of national recognition. And this year, we're already
invited
seeing
to national events,
right?
To host national events
Yes.
like the Budweiser Nationals.
Budweiser Nationals, and
Yeah.
we had talks with Duel in the Desert, and we actually had talks with doing something at Chili Bowl that fell through because of media contracts,
Right.
which is totally
That
understandable.
were already in place.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to get that feel out there, that vibe, and have people call you and say, "Hey, any chance we can get you here to this race?" Well, maybe. You know what I mean?
When it comes to announcing a race, this guy right here, he can tell you the chassis, the motor, the driver, the age. He'll give
a
you
lot of homework.
Biography on the entire race team. And I don't know how he does it, but he's he's the best announcer around.
It's a lot of reading. Thank you. I appreciate that. But my job is so much easier with you guys at the racetrack.
No, well, thank you.
You know, the communication on the radios from, the pit area, what's going on, the speed trap. I mean, everything we do to make the show better for the fans and the sponsors. It's not just me. It's the whole team from, Sandy to you guys doing what you're doing in the pit area, and the information is constantly coming across the radio to me.
You better mention your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mention your wife, we're going to be in trouble.
But, I hear a lot of people, and that's kind of, I don't want to say I'm the face of Moxie, but people, when they say Moxie, my name comes up a lot. It's not me. It's the whole team. We all have our roles like we do in the racing world, and without it, it's
teamwork.
It doesn't work.
Teamwork.
I mean,
absolutely.
You look at the three of us and what we each bring individually to Moxie. I mean, you've got the history and the nostalgia of Willamette Speedway and the experience on the old outlaw cars. Warren brings the asphalt and the older history. Willamette Speedway.
Old.
Oh, hey! I said old.
Oh my! Look at the time.
And, and then I'm bringing the new age stuff and the new age technology. We each have our facet in this organization, and
I think that's what makes our show at Northwest Dirt News so unique. I mean, you've got 3 personalities where a lot of shows will only have 1 to 2.
Yeah.
We bring a lot of, like you said, we have a facet that we bring to each other, and it works well. It meshes well to each other.
Actually, I just bring comedy.
Well, but you do that well. But you bring a lot of knowledge, and it works. It works well for everybody.
Yeah, we've got a good team.
I think that's
We've got a
why
great team.
when we made the adjustment, what was it about? Well, November.
Yeah.
When we made the adjustment from the old show format to the new.
Yeah.
The feedback we've got is just absolutely incredible, and the listening base has
Very gratifying.
Yeah, and the listening base has absolutely exploded. So.
I mean, for 3 guys just like to hear themselves talk.
Yeah,
listen to us. You can tell.
It is satisfying to see what we're doing, and we're just having fun.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So we want to thank you guys for letting us come on here and talk.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions?
Oh, that's no problem.
Yeah.
No, this is it. Thanks for the interview.
Absolutely, and
It's our honor.
Pat, you're welcome to come hang out with us anytime, and bring the cameras out to the track, and
Put you up in a VIP booth.
Yeah, we'll get plugged
okay,
in with
cool.
videos, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You bet.
Okay,
Show
I'll
you
let
what-
you know when I be down.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, sir. Thanks.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.